When you hear the words technology and transportation, you're probably thinking about the likes of Tesla, Uber, and Ford, to name a few. Well guys, remember Segway? Either you've never heard about it, or you have but never owned one. But want to know something absolutely mind-blowing? Segway actually had more hype in the past than the other household tech companies I just named. But where is it now, and why does it seem like it's disappeared into the wind? Stay tuned because you're about to find out. Back in 2001, a newsworthy story unfolded about a mysterious inventor in New Hampshire cooking up something extraordinary in his lab. This invention, a scooter named Segway, promised to change how we travel and got everyone buzzing with excitement. Although it didn't quite fulfill its promise of transforming transportation as we know it, Segway is still around today. Despite the grand vision not panning out exactly as planned, Segway has managed to stick around and adapt. Let's delve into the fascinating early stages of founder Dean Kamen's journey as an entrepreneur, starting from his days as a high school enthusiast to becoming an inventor. One day after a shower, Kamen had an epiphany. He slipped for a moment, but managed to recover with a bit of arm circling. This incident got him thinking about the incredible balance humans naturally have, especially when walking, leaning with controlled falls, each disrupted by the next step. And that's where the idea sparked. Kamen envisioned creating a machine that could stand upright on two wheels or even climb. He was captivated by the concept of a device that mimicked human balance. So, in the early 1990s, the journey began to turn Kamen's revelation into a real tangible product. But let me tell you, it was no easy task. After years of careful measurements and calculations, Kamen's team crafted prototypes, and one of them was even a device that could climb stairs. They described it as a beautiful revelation, a seamless extension of the body. Their vision was a machine that responded to leans, picking up speed as you tilted forward. In 1995, Kamen divested his product to Johnson & Johnson, redirecting his focus toward crafting the Model I-167 Segway Human Transporter, HT. This hydrogen-powered hovercraft, initially dubbed IT, harnessed dynamic stabilization technology. Kamen's flagship product emerged as a self-balancing two-wheeled electric vehicle, a culmination of extensive research and development aimed at creating socially impactful innovation. The I in its name served as an abbreviation for industrial or industry, and the 167 denoted a 67% increase in battery life compared to prior models. The choice of the name Segway stemmed from its resemblance to the word Segway, signifying a smooth transition. Dean maintained a veil of secrecy around the new machine, and information about its existence surfaced through a leaked book, which was acquired by the academic publisher Harvard Business School Press for $250,000. The revelation sparked widespread discussions at an astonishing pace, effectively breaking the internet. Despite Harvard's limited knowledge about the invention, the anticipation was palpable, fueling speculation and saturating the news. It's intriguing that even without a clear understanding of the invention, Harvard invested a substantial sum in the book. The only disclosed detail was the title, incorporating the enigmatic IT, which became the widely used reference until the official unveiling in December 2001. Finally, the world learned about IT when its founder Dean Kamen discussed the groundbreaking invention on Good Morning America. Boasting 3 speed settings, 10, 13, and 16 kilometers per hour, and a range of 10 to 16 kilometers on a fully charged battery, this extraordinary human transporter incurred approximately $100 million in marketing and investment for its development. However, the vehicle failed to deliver the anticipated sporty sensation, leaving many with disappointed expectations. Despite Kamen's optimistic projection of selling around 6,000 Segways per week, the reality was starkly different. The factory geared up for substantial production, but ended up manufacturing merely 10 Segways a week in the subsequent year. By March 2009, only 50,000 units had been sold, with a meager 23,500 in the initial 5 years. This dismal outcome raised the question, why were Segways not finding buyers despite the significant investment by Kamen? When unveiled on Good Morning America in December 2001, the Segway faced high expectations due to its cool technology, but it fell short, partly because of unrealistic expectations. The The failure can be attributed to both the development team's focus on invention and a flawed marketing strategy. Dean Kamen's company, known for medical devices, had a history of relying on external partners for production and sales. However, with the Segway, a separate company was established to handle everything, including manufacturing and sales. This shift, while demonstrating belief in the product, lacked an external sales team, possibly hindering success. Comparisons to Steve Jobs arose, as he suggested launching with a single model to simplify for customers, a strategy that worked for Apple. Instead, the Segway launched with 2 models, and Jobs noted its traditional appearance didn't reflect the innovative technology inside. Jobs further advised a grand launch, emphasizing a big reveal, but Segway opted for a slow, methodical approach after the initial reveal. Initially, the Segway was exclusively available to large entities like police departments, the post office, and Disneyland for testing, with the hopes of substantial orders which didn't materialize as expected. The average consumer had to wait almost a year after the announcement to purchase a Segway, and by then, much of the initial excitement had waned. Moreover, the Segway's impracticality became evident in many situations. It was often illegal to ride on sidewalks, presenting a significant obstacle. Segway faced challenges lobbying for legal changes, encountering resistance due to safety concerns. Beyond the legal issues, the Segway itself posed practical problems. It was heavy, had a limited range of about 12 miles per charge, and required both hands to operate, limiting multitasking. In contrast, traditional bicycles didn't face these issues and were more cost-effective. The Segway's high price, around $5,000, was acknowledged by their former VP of marketing and criticized by the former CEO, who acknowledged the perception of being overpriced. The costly engineering of the required battery, coupled with domestic manufacturing in New Hampshire instead of a more economical overseas location, contributed to the Segway's high production costs, making it challenging to turn a profit at a lower selling price. Prior to the launch, Segway held a $650 million valuation, but Dean Kamen was only willing to relinquish about 15% control during fundraising, highlighting ongoing financial struggles. Additionally, the Segway faced setbacks due to accidents. Mastering the Segway required practice, as users had to lean in different directions to control its movements, posing challenges with its unfamiliar technology. Numerous well-documented accidents involving Segways quickly tarnished their reputation, marking them as potentially dangerous. In 2003, just 7 months after its public release, President George W. Bush famously fell off one in Maine. Ellen DeGeneres followed suit in 2010, falling off during a demonstration on her talk show stage. In 2015, a cameraman collided with Usain Bolt during a victory lap. Notably, 2 recalls were issued due to system malfunctions causing falls. However, the most significant setback occurred in 2010 when Dean Kamen sought to sell the company. Facing the realization that Segways wouldn't be the next big thing, he explored a potential sale to General Motors, with whom they had collaborated on unique concept cars. Unfortunately, GM's bankruptcy prevented the acquisition, leading to the eventual purchase by British millionaire James Heselden in 2015. 2 decades prior, he founded a company specializing in barriers, primarily for military base protection, sparking speculation about using his connections to adapt Segway technology for military purposes. The narrative takes a surreal turn when, due to Segways being illegal on UK sidewalks, Heselden rode his on his property. Tragically, he lost control, sending the Segway off a cliff, resulting in his death. While it may sound like a joke, it's a real-life unfortunate event. The owner of Segway perishing while riding one prompts reflection on the safety of Segways. Another factor contributing to Segway's decline is the shift toward it being perceived more as a joke. However, Segway quickly looked for ways to salvage a dying enterprise. On April 1, 2015, Segway underwent a transformative shift, being acquired for $75 million by Ninebot, a Chinese robotics company. Ninebot not only rebranded Segway, but also redirected its focus, rescuing it from what appeared to be imminent bankruptcy. The production of the iconic 2-wheeled transporter came to a complete halt on June 23, 2020, as Segway publicly announced its retirement after a modest 140,000 units sold throughout its entire lifespan. Subsequently, the company forged partnerships and pivoted its emphasis toward rental scooters, recognizing the broader appeal of affordable scooters and trendy hoverboards compared to personal ownership of Segways. Over the years, Segway showcased futuristic ventures like electric motorbikes and dirt bikes. Products such as the Drift W1, e-skates, and 9-bot go-kart kit emerged as pioneers in 2019. In 2020, the company unveiled the Segway S-Pod, an ultra-modern, egg-shaped, and innovative transport pod capable of reaching speeds up to 24 miles per hour, delivering a remarkably smooth ride and garnering acclaim. Dean Kamen, undeniably a genius, crafted the Segway as a captivating machine intricately attuned to the user's natural expressions and movement senses. Integrating sensors, computer control, feedback loops, servo control, and robust engines with wheels, he introduced a fresh perspective on mechanics. However, a product's triumph or failure hinges on various factors. Whether you attribute Segway's decline to a leaked image or perceive it as an inevitable outcome, it's evident that the original Segway had notable shortcomings. Yet, Segway's narrative isn't a tragic one. A company with superior capabilities intervened, salvaging it to adapt to evolving demands and remain relevant. The stellar products it produces today are technically refined iterations of the original Segway, rebranded and better applied to the world. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this.